Good morning, Creekside fam. Welcome to Day in the Life. Let's do a little review of what goes on here at Creekside and what I'm getting into on this beautiful Tuesday. Thank you, by the way, for all of the comments and the encouraging words and the support after I posted the I Quit video. I can't even explain how encouraging it's been to read a lot of the words that you all put down on those comments. And one of the best things that came out of that was content ideas and stuff that you want to see. The point is not for me to speak into this void and to shoot content that only I like. The point is to give you content, to give you access to the parts of the cigar industry, the parts of running a lounge, the parts of blending cigars and owning a cigar business, to give you insight into that. And so that's what we're going to do today. It's a Tuesday morning, it's 8 a.m. I love to come into the shop at this point in time before anybody gets here to sit down, to shoot content, to go through the plan of attack for the day and ultimately for the week. And so today we've got a couple really exciting things. One, we've got some new samples that came in that I want to walk you through. And then we're going to do a lot of planning today. Yeah, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up. Working on a trip to the DR to go see our boy Hostos and work on some stuff there and bring you guys with me. And then we got content to plan, a new website to launch, cigars to buy, events to plan for. It's gonna be a fun day. So let's get it started. And the best way to do that is coffee first. Tasty. Here's a quick service and hospitality shout out for the team here at Creekside that makes this happen. I want to point out to you guys. We talk a lot about service and hospitality, and specifically with our team, we talk about the details and getting the small things right. We also have this saying that we kind of toss around: how you do one thing is how you do everything. I was at this cafe restaurant here in the Cincinnati area, one of my favorites. It's called North Star. What they do really well is they execute hospitality and service in a way that is comfortable, not pretentious, and you feel cared for at every step of the way. One of the things that I noticed one time when I was in North Star was I was looking down this whole row of chairs and tables, probably 20 deep. And I looked at them and was blown away because every chair was perfectly in line. Every table was perfectly in line. Every table was set the exact same way. And I snapped a photo of it. I sent it to Noah, and I was like, this is paying attention to the details. This is also hospitality. This is caring for the people that are going to go sit in those chairs. This is caring for the quality of the space, of showcasing the quality of the food through how we take care of everything else, just how we use our space and the way we lay it out and the way we treat people as a way to show appreciation for the quality of the product in our humidor. One thing that the team does now when they reset at close for the next day is they set the tables. And let me just show you this. Every ashtray is centered on the tables with Smoking Good Company facing out, a matchbox facing out, and a set of coasters stacked nicely, both facing one direction each. Shout out to the team here that makes sure that is the way that we do things every single day. First things first today, like I already said, coffee. And then I want to open up some of the recent packages and samples that I've grabbed or have been delivered here to the shop and talk to you a little bit about some of the projects that I'm working on and some of the blends, brands that we're talking about bringing in. So we'll kind of go through that and then we'll move through the rest of the day. This is a little day in the life of running a cigar lounge, and I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. So I'm gonna finish this and then we're gonna get cooking. Got a lot of bags in front of me, and I'm gonna go through each one fairly quickly. But this will just give you a start and then let you know like how I decide what this week I'm gonna smoke and what the team's gonna be smoking, give an opinion on. Because collectively, when we're bringing brands in, I don't like to do it in just a silo. where I'm just smoking them or I'm the one deciding everything that goes in there. We try and keep it pretty collaborative. And there's a lot of things that go into picking what cigars go into our humidor. This isn't just, it has to be a cigar that I love and I like, and then we have to get a certain deal on it, and it has to meet a certain criteria or come from a specific country. There's a couple things that I really look at. One, people, and probably first and foremost. Brands where we really connect with the owners of the brand and the blenders of the cigars. I love bringing those cigars in, because when you get the personal connection with the owner of the brand, the creator, you get to share a lot more details about the cigar. And I love being able to have the details, to have the stories behind each blend that makes its way into our humidor that we can then turn around and share with our customers. And then when we have events with these specific brands, we can bring the owners of these brands in and have them share with our Creekside community. And when we do that, when we peel back a couple of these layers in cigars, which historically has been, there's been some smoke and mirrors, there's been less transparency than other craft products like wine or coffee or bourbon. When we get to do that, we get to see people get more excited and understand what they're smoking and understand who, in purchasing that cigar, they're supporting, which is how I look at it too. I want to put brands in here that we want to support, that, we're one single shop. We're not making a massive dent in their monthly P&Ls. But I think if we do it correctly, we can. And I love to be able to support brands and people that we believe in. So there's two new brands on the table for us today to talk about bringing in. The first is a brand that I have loved for a very long time that kind of disappeared for a little bit. Back in 2016, when I was really getting into cigars, as you guys know, I was smoking a lot of boutique stuff like Warped, Caldwell, Luzione, HVC, and there's another brand that kind of popped up on my radar known as M. Bombay, or is it just Bombay? I call it M. Bombay. And M. Bombay makes really awesome cigars out of a factory in Costa Rica. This factory is one that you are all very familiar with because it is where cigars like Atabey and Alfonso and Byron are also crafted. I really got into their Gaia line. They have this awesome like Bellicoso with a closed foot Connecticut wrapper. Just delicious, creamy, rich, like vintage tasting. When I say vintage tasting, I mean the tobacco tasted so well aged in that it was a very rounded experience. It wasn't overly spicy, it wasn't overly leathery, it wasn't overly earthy. It was clean and rich and balanced, rounded. Is kind of how I'm in my head explaining it. I was talking in the podcast we shot with one of our Creekside members, Mike, who you all may remember with the really long Lancero cigar. I was talking with him on that podcast, and M. Bombay got brought up, and I was like, wait, are they still around? When we opened Creekside, I searched far and wide to try and get these guys into the humidor and see who I needed to reach out to, and I couldn't find anything on them. He said, yeah, they're still cranking. And so Mike graciously connected me with the owner of M. Bombay, and we talked on the phone for a long time, and he kind of shared with me his story. They kind of ramped things down around COVID in 2020, and recently in the past year have ramped things back up and are back in the market with a way more limited portfolio of cigars, and then they'll go through and release new ones every couple of years as they age and become ready for the market. Something that they're doing, and hold on, before I actually keep talking, let me show you these cigars. Really beautiful cigars. Here's the M. Cuba. Smoked this one the other day, and it was delicious. Umami, like almost this mushroom characteristic, caramel milk dud sweetness, no pepper, no strength. Again, really vintage and old tasting, kind of reminded me of some of the PG stuff. Anyway, I was talking with the owner, and he was sharing with me how all of their tobacco is aged between 10 and 20 years. The wrapper leaf specifically, and then a lot of the filler and binder. And then it's rolled and then set to rest for 4 to 6 years. There's very few brands that do this. Very, very few. And this is a marker to me. One, I'm talking on the phone with the owner. Love that. I have the direct access to them. Two, the time that they are putting towards making a consistently great product that they believe in is 100% slowing down their ability to make money very fast. But he cares deeply about the quality of the tobacco, and he wants it to taste the same every single time. And so he takes his time aging them. He takes his time procuring the correct tobacco, paying more for that tobacco. As you can imagine, a lot of what drives cost in cigars is the time that you take to age the tobacco before it's rolled as a cigar. Now, yes, once you're sitting a cigar down for 5 years, there's more cost there, and specifically there's less revenue coming in because they're aging. So that alone adds to the cost, if you will. But the actual raw materials, the tobacco, when you're making that commitment, it's going to cost more for the cigar. But if you believe in it, and that's the profile that you want people to get to know and get used to with your cigars, you do it. And so that's what they've done a great job of. And these cigars here are the ones where we've been smoking through as a team. I've just been having the guys smoke them and then send me a text with their thoughts on the blends. So last week I dove into the M. Cuba. This week I'm going to dive into Quesara. And then next week we'll go through the Gaia line in both Connecticut and in Maduro. So M. Bombay, you can expect coming to the humidor in the next month and a half. And I'm really excited to hear all of the guys' feedback. So far, Noah and Connor both smoked them. Noah's really enjoyed them. Connor had one he loved, one that he was like, it was good, but I'm not like obsessed with this cigar. We'll leave it to them once we start doing some reviews on these cigars to tell you which ones. And I will say that M. Cuba really piqued my interest. All right, so that's M. Bombay. Next, very excited for this one. AG Cigars, founded, owned, named after their founder, Alejandro Gonzalez, who is a master roller and blender out of Cuba. He now resides in California and has a factory in Nicaragua where he is making some really incredible cigars. I've had the privilege of smoking one of his lines in a Lancero format that I absolutely loved. What made him most, or maybe not what made him most famous, but one of the things that he has done that is gonna blow your minds is he is the guy that blended and rolled MJ's, Michael Jordan's infamous like Lancero Cuban cigar. That was the creation of Alejandro Gonzalez. I actually have one of those cigars that was brought by the one and only Mike Lowich. We're gonna smoke it and do a video all around it and kind of share that experience with you guys. He got 2 of them. AG's been a brand that's kind of been on my radar for the past, 4 or 5 months. And I really am gonna put some focus on smoking these in the next week or 2 so we can talk about getting an order in and having them in the humidor. Again, we're talking about somebody that was doing this at the highest level in the Cuban market, has since moved to the US, opened his own factory in Nicaragua, and is building his own brand, blending his own cigars, and now able to share it with the US market. Such an amazing story of somebody who has a lot of passion and clearly a lot of grit for making these types of moves and is doing it. And for me, it's like, 1, I've had the cigars, so I know that they're excellent. And 2, it's like, I want that story to be shared. I want you guys to smoke this cigar and think of the legacy already that this guy has created for himself. And then, in turn, help us support what he's doing and purchasing his cigars. So anyway, a couple of the cool lines, let me just show you this. Ones that I'm really excited about is this Robusto Habano. I mean, look at that, it's got a little pigtail cap there. He also just came out with a 109 version that I think is gonna be awesome. I love a 109 cap. Just slightly tapered on the end. This is a figurado I can get behind people. And then he's doing some bigger, like, let me show you this Bellicoso. This one is beautiful looking. It has this like twisted cap at the top of a Bellicoso, which I've never seen, and a pretty awesome closed foot. I'm hoping all of this is in focus for you guys, but we'll see. All of his cigars are just expertly crafted, old school Cuban sizes and shapes. And then he's also got Maduros and all these cigars as well that we'll be smoking through. But we've got a good set of samples here. Gave some to Noah the other day. And so we'll kind of smoke through these, talk about which ones we're really liking, and then get an opening order in. We normally start a little smaller with brands like this. Like we pick maybe 4 or 5 of our favorites in both sizes and blends. And we put them out there, and we're able to speak really from a firsthand account and experience to our customers of like, hey, we've actually smoked these and this is what we get out of them, and this is why we love this brand, and this is why we want to bring them into the humidor and support them. So AG is also on the list. That's going to be on the docket for smoking this week. And so these are kind of the 2 new brands that I'm really focused on, kind of going through their portfolio and building an opening order for. There's a brand I just opened up an account with that I am so excited about. Probably the most excited I've been to bring a new brand in 2025. And when it comes in, I'll do a whole deep dive on it, but made in Nicaragua at one of my favorite factories ever, back in what I think was like the heyday of this tobacco. And all of the cigars we purchase are from the original production that happened in 2015 or 2016. So they're very well aged. The price points are amazing. The profiles are delicious, really cool sizes. And probably, if I could guess, a brand that you have never even heard of. So stay tuned on that. Okay, I got two more things. One other brand that I've been smoking through recently after a trip to New York City with my wife, who a lot of you know. I wanna give a quick shout out to Chris. If you've emailed info@creeksidecigarco.com, whether it's with questions or encouragement or problems with your order, yes, that happens even with us. More than I'd like to admit, but something that we're working really hard on and syncing our inventory and making our shipping processes airtight. You've interfaced with Chris, and she's lovely, and a lot of you have then in turn reached out to me and been like, oh, it's so awesome that we get to chat with Chris and she's so helpful. And so shout out to you, my love. Anyway, we were in New York City the other day for a little parents' getaway, and I had never been to Martinez Cigars. They are a legitimate cigar factory in Manhattan, in this small, 300 square foot storefront downtown near Chelsea, and they're making cigars in here. Like there are 3 or 4 rollers expertly situated in there so that they can fit all of their bales of tobacco. And they've been around for a very, very, very long time, decades. And I had never been. And I always think it's cool to find manufacturers that are making cigars here in the US and kind of spotlight them and put them in our humidor. I've talked a lot about El Titan de Bronze in Miami. We've done a couple of blends ourselves through our customs line in Miami as well, at a cigar factory down there. And it was time to give Martinez a try. So we were in New York City. I'm like, let's go stop in. And we grabbed a couple samples to start smoking through from Martinez Cigars. Very excited to go through these blends and hopefully bring them into the shop. And then even briefly chatted with their team there about making some just for Creekside at that factory, which I think would be a really cool experience. So Martinez Cigars also on the list there. Last and certainly not least, let's talk about new blends that I'm working on for Creekside. Now, we do these in a couple different ways. One, Creekside Customs. We drop these every quarter. You guys will get notified when that drop comes out, so you can go grab them if you want them. Those cigars we blend in partnership with really awesome factories that we know and love. This month's actually came out of the HBC factory in Nicaragua, our first Nicaraguan blend. We've done them with Hostos at Tabacalera La Isla. We've done them in Miami at Tabacalera Cremo, and at Bello Cigars, also in Miami. So this being our fifth or sixth release, I think, I should know this. And I'm always working on new ones because this comes every quarter. And so when you're releasing a cigar every 3 months, you're constantly working on new blends. And like I've told you in the past, and like I just said in this video, I love being able to make cigars in the States when I can. A lot of times it's cost prohibitive. for us being so small with limited quantities that we're making. But when we get the opportunity to, I jump on it. And so I've recently been in conversation with a new factory in Miami that I have never worked with before. And so I wanted to share with you guys some of the samples that I've gotten in to really get to explore their brand. I'm not gonna release the name just yet, but I am working on a trip to Miami where I can bring you all into the factory with me and we can really talk about the cigars and the history and the brand. But I mean, just look at how beautiful. This is a big boy. This looks like a Bahique 56. Pigtail cap, just killer looking. I had them roll some samples just to see the craftsmanship, if you will, in 3 different sizes. So we did a Bellicoso, Robusto size. We did this one with a fantail and closed foot. That's a larger Robusto, like 54, 56. And then like a Corona Extra, also with a closed foot and a pigtail. Just to see the craftsmanship quality. That's kind of the first place I start. And then he's gonna send me kind of a list of the tobaccos that he's working with that we'd have access to blend with. So we're gonna smoke through those today. I'm gonna smoke a couple of those and see how they're doing and if we're enjoying them or not. And then another really cool project that came in, like I said, we have our customs line, but now we're also getting into this world of doing exclusive cigars. Now, an exclusive cigar is different than a custom. An exclusive cigar is a cigar that is already a regular production stick or a cigar that's in the market by a brand that we love. We've been teasing the one we're working with John Huber at Groundheads with. Info on that coming soon. We've been in discussions with brands like Warp Cigars and HVC Cigars on taking a cigar that they make that we love and doing it in an exclusive size and presentation just for Creekside. And this week I got in samples of the one that I've been talking about with Rainier Lorenzo at HVC, and I'm just gonna share it. I'm just gonna share which one we're working on, give you guys a little insider scoop if you've made it this far in the video. And that is the HVC Pan Caliente, and we are working on bringing this sucker in a 5.5 by 44. It is no surprise that everyone here at Creekside loves Pan Caliente. The price point, the flavor profile, the consistency, this cigar rocks. And one thing we wanted to explore was, can we do it in a smaller size? We love the Robusto. They have it already in a Corona Gorda. So can we take it down a little bit more? And so we had to make up a couple sizes and samples. And one of Lorenzo's favorites was this one right here, the 5.5 by 44. So this is the one that we're smoking through. And if this is something that we love, which, spoiler alert, I've already smoked 2 of them and really enjoyed them, then that will be something we kind of put into production and produce exclusively for us here at Creekside, which is pretty cool. Quick pause for packing orders with Connor Pilcher.
What's up?
The other thing that we try and do on a daily basis is something we call a humidor audit. So a couple things we look for in the humidor audit. 1, check the temperature and we check the humidity percentage. We like it sitting anywhere between 67 and 69. 2, I go through, not always me, someone from the team goes through and looks at every single box of cigars in here and checks for 4 things. 1, is there a price tag on the box so that people know how much it costs? 2, is there a SKU on the back of each and every cigar that we use to ring people out to find the cigars quickly? 3, are the cigars all face up and pushed to the left? That seems random, I know, but there's a reason. Let me find a good example up here. So this one you'll notice there's only one missing. This one has a couple missing, so it looks a little more easy to understand. Face up, so you see all the bands. Push to the left, so it's easier to just grab. Most people are right-handed, so they grab right to left, pull the cigar out like this. It just makes it easier and consistent looking. All of these people that make these cigars in here have taken so much pride in crafting and creating these cigars. Hundreds of hands have touched these. So what a shame it would be that at the final mile, at the point of sale, they aren't taken care of. They aren't respected in a way to where they're presented in a way that really showcases the level of quality that each cigar brings to the table. So basically I'm gonna go around here, do a check, make sure everything's face up to the left, priced, has a barcode, and also want to make sure that we don't have any empty boxes in the humidor. We consider empty at 2 or less. So if there's 2 or less and we have extra stock of it, we swap it out and fill it. If we don't, we let it run to 0, and then we'll normally replace it in the coming weeks as we get more inventory in. Oh, and by the way, let's be really transparent. It's Tuesday. This is probably the 3rd audit I've done in a week myself, and it has failed every single time. Because there's one cigar that's not face up. There's one cigar box that doesn't have a price tag on it. It's very hard to nail this, but to be great, to give people an outstanding experience, we have to nail it. Part of that is doing stuff like this that some people would roll their eyes at, some teams would roll their eyes at, and maybe they do at certain times when they're closing down the shop after a long night of service on a Friday night, and they have to come in here and fully reset this before the opener comes in the next day. I'm sure it's not always fun, it's not always easy, but another shout out to our awesome team here at Creekside, because they take pride in this and they make it happen. And straight up, this is the best. Oh, here's one. Just missed it. They take pride in what they do. This is great right now, guys. I have not, just literally have found 2 cigars slightly out of position. Every price tag that I see so far is loaded. I see we're down to 1 here and 1 here, but we have no top in that, no top stock, so that's clear. Price. This is exciting. This is exciting to see the humidor this way. I wanna know for all of you who watch our content that own shops or manage shops, what do you do in your humidors to keep them looking A+? This is, like I said, some of the stuff we look at, and part of my excitement for some of the hospitality practices we're doing and some of the service practices we're doing is going to be hosting these weekends at Creekside for lounge owners and GMs and managers and associates to come down to Creekside and do a deep dive into how we do service, how we do operations, and then kind of talk about that with other like-minded people and share our level of and care of service and hospitality. We've got some weekends coming up on that will be announced soon in the fall. Like the weekend will be in the fall, we'll announce it in the next month, somewhere in October. We're gonna do a hospitality weekend here at Creekside for people to come in and us to do these kind of panels, Q&As, going through our standard operating procedures, self-assessments for shops and lounges to look and grade themselves against as we build this like coalition for incredible hospitality focused cigar lounges and brands. I'm excited about it, to be honest with you. A very successful humidor audit. It's not 100% passed, but it is the closest it's been to 100% pass. Literally there was like 3 cigars that were like out of line or not like straightened and pushed to the left. Other than that, it passed with flying colors. So shout out to the closer from yesterday. Actually, I think that was you, Noah. Way to lead by example, my friend. New brands laid out for the week of what we're gonna smoke. Humidor audit done. Connor's packing orders. Next up, I'm gonna go look into inventory that we need to buy. And then I gotta work on this new web 2.0 for Creekside that we're launching very soon. Just an easier way for you guys to shop, actually kind of laying out the website to be an e-commerce site and not just like, oh my gosh, people want to buy cigars and we don't have a way for them to do it. Hurry up and just get stuff up there. This is a lot more kind of thought through. It won't be the end-to-end website. I think that is still to come, but this will make it a way better experience for you guys to shop. For us. All right, we paused this regularly scheduled vlog because we got new shipments in today. Ooh. First one we're cutting into is none other than the one from our boys Colin and Scotty over at Warped. Oh, it's back. I think this means that Skinny Ring Kings is gonna be back in stock. Number 23 cigar of the year. according to Cigar Aficionado at least. Oh, that's the number 45. That's a 5x48. I don't know what, 2 or 3 times a week we get shipments in,
Oh, if not more. Yeah.
if not more, and got to get them in the system. We'll get some shots of you doing the Lord's work, brother.
Size.
See how she look. I love how precise these box cutters are.
I know. Oh,
Might need to get a little quality control on this one. What's this?
Johnny Tobacco.
Oh, yes, we needed those today.
We did need this.
Johnny T's are back in stock too. Y'all, it's about to be a good day. And I see Sereno shipment as well. Smoke in good company, carve your own path. Boom. Tell him what it do.
Vanguards. A lot of Vanguards.
This is a personal plug. If you're not smoking Griffin Dave Vanguard, he's Griff, I'm Dave. You should be. And this is the last of our second production. I grabbed the last of them. And so we'll have them online and in store. Come check them out. And we got some Taínos, because y'all been asking for them. Ooh, that Johnny, bro. That means that we can restock our Connecticut sampler that's been out for the past couple days, because we got JT's back in stock. Ooh, let's see what we have from Crown Heads. That's a great idea, Connor. Oh, this is all for the club.
All the people don't know what the picks are yet.
If you're part of the Creekside Cigar Club, here's a PSA. This box contains a lot of cigars that are going in that club. Oscar Toba and Mil Diaz Corona Gorda. New packaging. Connor's holding it down. He's gonna get those loaded up into the system, on the website, and in the humidor. Always fun when we get new product in, even if it's product we've carried before that's been out of stock for a little bit. It's fun when they get re-upped, because that also means people are excited about these blends. And stuff like Cloud Hopper and X52 from Warped has been back ordered for the past, like, I want to say 2 months. So we've been waiting on that to come in. So now that it's here, we can get it back into the samplers that we had them in before, get those restocked online, and all the people who've been waiting for them can finally get them again. About to jump into our virtual lounge on our Discord and hang out with some of the people there. It's always fun every week, try and jump in there and smoke with you all, or even just hang out and chat. So always good to see a lot of your faces. If you're not part of the Discord, you should consider joining it, because it's a lot of fun. Way to connect with cigar smokers from all around the country. All right, last thing on my to-do list today is going to be getting this website updated, getting comments back to our designer and developer, get this new site live for y'all. So I'm gonna lock in for that, and I'll check in after. Boom, and we're back. All right, how much behind the scenes is too much behind the scenes? How much of this is boring? How much of this is cool? Or what you want to see, I should say. It's kind of hard to teeter that line when you do something like this, because for me, this is kind of what I do at work. And you guys want to see that, I'm happy to share it. You just let me know when it's too much. A couple things we have coming up. One, Black Label Trading Company event, July 17th. It's right around the corner. So putting in a buy for that. A lot of times how these events work is you put together an order. With that order, you get some free cigars that are added to it. A lot of times they're event only, which are the really cool events, in my opinion. And those are the ones we get to do as the deals, right? So you come into the shop on the event night, you buy 4, you'll get 1 free. You buy 10, you'll get 3. You buy 20, you'll get 5. That's our normal deal structure. All of those free ones were kind of bought in by our larger event order. And then a lot of times we get like some swag and stuff like that. So I've got an order together for Black Label, some new cigars I haven't had yet. And then some of their like really cool event only cigars. So I'm going to pull it up. I'll show you the order I'm working on for them right now. Here's what we're going for the event. Lawless Porcelain, those are all stuff we've had. Royalty is stuff we've had. Killer Bees we've had. Orthodox, that's new. We've had Santa Muerte and Last Rites. However, I haven't had this, the new Santa Muerte Barrio Santos, or limited edition. I have not had Lizard King or Ambush. These are ones you can only get as part of an event package, and you get like a certain allotment for those. So this is what we're putting in. And then, then Noah said, Noah Leto? And I said, what's that? And then before I could answer my question, I just immediately sent back to Black Label and said, let's add a box of Aledo in each size, because Noah wants it and it's probably really good. I just don't know about it. That's generally how an event order goes. At this point, I have no idea where we've left off in the vlog, because this is now day 3 of me being horrible at wrapping this up. But I do want to say, we'll end it here. This is my first test, so cut me some slack. Appreciate all the support. Let me know what you guys continually want to see more of. I'm about to go unbox and do a video on these, on the new customs, and looking forward to sharing those with you very soon, or maybe when this is out, they're already released. So check the website. But thank you guys, really appreciate the support. Why don't you go smoke in good company? We'll talk soon. Peace.